so I'm here with Tony Sampona, organizer of the Stop Soldier Suicide event happening at Groundstone BJJ on October 26, 2024. Tony, could you tell us a little bit about why you started this event or why you wanted to organize it?
It started back in like early June of this year, 2024. I was actually away for the week. I was teaching at an academy, and I got a phone call from one of my best friends, a former Marine that I used to work with, I had deployed with, and we were in the same like friend circle and group circle while we were there. One of my best friends, and he actually called and let me know, had taken his own life and committed suicide. That was on a Thursday, so I had to finish the week, and his memorial service was in Virginia on that Saturday. So he actually flew from where he was. We met in Virginia, and then we actually went to the memorial service. And, you know, that has actually marked the sixth Marine that I had lost to suicide since, I was in 05 to 09, a long time ago. But that one I think was the most devastating. All of it was, but because him and I were the closest. We had deployed together, we were in garrison together. So I went up to the memorial service, and I had like this epiphany, like, what am I doing in my friend group and in my group of Marines that I serve with to support them, check in with them. And I mean, we talk to each other, we check in, but life is so busy. You never really know what somebody's going through. So when you talk to each other, it's kind of, sure, hey, how are you? How are things going? So in this particular friend that I had lost, it started out with, we would talk over the phone every now and then it downgraded to, we would send each other messages over social media, and he would always write a message back or like do the react, like he'd smile or laugh at him. And then it turned into, he would see them and not say anything back to me. So that's why I think it's really important for a lot of us to see the signs, whether they're obvious or not, of like when friends do that, verbal or nonverbal communication with you, or they stop communicating with you. Looking back on it then, that's something that I think I've learned out of this. And then I said, okay, am I doing enough in my community? This is a big military community. I'm also in the law enforcement community. Are we doing enough to check in with those that we work with and also that we're friends with, whether we're in the same unit or not with each other? So last year I did a Tap Cancer Out, where I raised a lot of money for cancer research and, did donations for that. So every year I kind of want to do a volunteer event. So then I said, okay, well, I want to do something towards military suicide awareness and prevention, right? That was my goal. So I started researching different organizations. So I actually brought the idea to Professor Tulsa and Coach Bianca, who own Groundstone and have been a great resource to me since I came back here to the coast. This is a place where it's like my hour, 2 hours to disconnect, come in here, and they've helped me out as far as spiritually, emotionally, physically. So they said, we would love to help you. So they were very welcoming. They said, we want to help you on this mission. It's something that's near and dear to us too. So then I said, okay, I was like, well, let's start collaborating. I said, well, could this event even work? Like before we started going down that path, like, your heart's in the right place, but, logistically, could it work? And they said, well, let's host it here. So then we just started kind of, working with different ideas. That's when I found Stop Soldier Suicide. I was extremely impressed because they're based in North Carolina. Claire, who's actually the coordinator, like she's the one that's in charge of my fundraising page, and she's been helping me out as far as, hey, different ways to improve it and get it out there. Their organization has been incredible. And much like Tap Cancer Out, there's a direct link that people can go on and donate directly towards Stop Soldier Suicide. And they can write on a message and different things. So then ideas just started to spin from there. After talking with her, again, they're based in North Carolina, I was like, this is meant to be. Came back with Professor Tulsa and Coach Bianca and said, hey, like, how big do we want this event to be? Like, me, I like to go big or go home. Let's make this work. So then we started, okay, let's do a roll-a-thon for, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I was like, because I don't know, like, if there's a 5K or different stuff. And I'm like, well, I love Jiu-Jitsu, and I think it incorporates everybody. You could step in day one, or if you've been here forever. So then I was like, well, all right, let's look at what that would look like. So instead of just being open mats, what I wanted to do is get lists of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gyms / dojos to come in, teach a seminar, be a part of it, not just have it exclusive to Groundstone, but have everybody else from the area, because military extends all over the place around here. And then the more I started to talk to other gyms and people, other professors and people were like, yeah, I've lost a friend to suicide too that was in the military. So then I was like, this is a lot deeper than I think. So then we started coordinating like which gym's going to come in at what time, teach a little seminar. So we're not just, open mat for 12 hours. We'll all be exhausted, but learn something. And I think that also gives us a time for different people to intermingle and form a connection with each other. Because, with suicide, the more connection that person has, the more people that they feel, they'll be able to feel more supported and more things to live for, right?
Yeah.
So then we said, okay, after that, we said, well, people are going to need to eat. So let's start reaching out to food trucks, local food trucks. And the ones that are coming are military veteran based. So that invites them down to say, hey, we want you a part of this too. Come inside and roll, or just, feed the people that are out here. And then we started to enlist different vendors, military owned, veteran owned businesses. And everybody that I talked to has said, this has impacted me. So now we're saying, okay, now we have food trucks, now we have vendors, and I want people to support the military and veteran-owned local businesses. And then this turned into, well, why don't we have some music, right?
Yeah.
And the people who are coming down, like there's one in particular, I actually met through the Honor Foundation, that's where the hat's from. I used to be a coach for the Honor Foundation, which is a special operations career transition program. And he was like, I would love to come down. It's affected me too. So I want this to be a festival, yes, centered around jiu-jitsu, but also while people are here, connect with each other and say, hey, I'm a veteran too. Kind of like how you and I connected.
Yeah.
Through jiu-jitsu, right? And we have those military ties, and also we've lost people to suicide.
Yeah.
So like the more that interconnects, now business owners will feel more supported in the community, not strangers. Musicians will come down here, play music, which will definitely intensify the vibe. And then we'll have different gyms come down and also make them realize like, hey, you're part of the community too. Like, yeah, we all go different places, but let's come together for a day and let the other 364 days sort themselves out. And there's no competition. There's no, who's going where. It's like, let's all come together. Let's raise awareness for suicide in the military community and the veteran community. And then, so it's really just been rampant since then. So we're just trying to incorporate as many people as possible. We have 30 days left. And then people will come down if they want. The $50 is the all-inclusive, like you're here all day. You get a t-shirt, what's included in that. I'm working with a company down in Wilmington to get that. It's going to be purple and teal, which is actually a pretty rad color shirt.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And it'll have all of our vendors, the military-owned businesses, their names and their business will be on the back. So it shows them like, hey, we appreciate you, and it's a good token. So
Awesome.
Yeah.